Have you ever wondered why you think the way you do? Why some days your mind feels clear and creative, while other days it's like swimming through fog? What if I told you that your brain, the very center of who you are, is being rewired every single day? Not by massive life-changing events, but by tiny habits you barely notice. Science now shows that your brain is constantly reshaping itself, building, pruning, and reinforcing connections based on what you do, what you think, and even what you pay attention to. And the crazy part? Most of it happens beneath your awareness. Today, we're breaking down 5 subtle daily habits that silently shape your brain, for better or worse. Some of them you might already be doing. Others, you'll wish you weren't. So, stay with me, because once you understand these hidden brain patterns, you'll never see your everyday routine the same way again. Let's start with the first one, and this one's probably in your hand right now. The dopamine loop, how your phone hijacks your focus. Every time you unlock your phone, your brain releases a tiny pulse of dopamine, the same chemical linked to pleasure, motivation, and reward. Feels harmless, right? But here's the trap. Dopamine loves novelty. It wants more. Each scroll, each new notification, teaches your brain that something exciting is waiting just one thumb swipe away. Over time, your brain gets hooked on this cycle. Studies from Stanford show that this constant burst of micro-rewards actually reshapes your neural pathways, making it harder to stay focused on tasks that don't give instant feedback. It's not that we've become lazy. It's that our brains have been trained to crave stimulation. Imagine opening your phone to check one text, then suddenly realizing you've spent 20 minutes on 3 different apps. That's not a lack of willpower. That's conditioning, your brain chasing dopamine breadcrumbs. The self-talk trap, how your inner voice shapes reality. Your brain listens to everything you tell it. Every insult, every doubt, every word of encouragement. It all gets recorded. Neuroscientists discovered that negative self-talk activates the same regions of the brain as physical pain. So when you silently tell yourself, "I'm not good enough," your brain doesn't see that as a thought, treats it as truth. Here's where it gets fascinating. When you practice positive, realistic self-talk, not fake optimism but grounded affirmation, you trigger your brain's reward system. It releases dopamine and serotonin, the chemicals that build confidence and motivation. Think of your mind like a playlist. If the track, "I can't" plays every day, your brain memorizes that rhythm. But when you swap it for "I'm learning," "I'm improving," or "I've got this," you change the tune, and your brain starts to dance differently. The comfort zone illusion, the brain's sneaky energy saver. Your brain's top priority isn't your success. It's your survival. To save energy, it wants to keep you in predictable, familiar routines, your comfort zone. That's why trying something new feels uncomfortable. It's not fear of failure, it's biology. When you step into uncertainty, your amygdala, the part of your brain that senses danger, lights up. It's your brain saying, "Wait, this is new. Let's play it safe." But here's the twist. Every time you push through that discomfort, your brain literally expands its neural map. New pathways form, old ones strengthen, and what once felt scary starts to feel natural. Think of your first day at a new job. Everything feels foreign, maybe even stressful. But 2 weeks later, you navigate it like second nature. That's neuroplasticity, your brain adapting to growth, one uncomfortable step at a time. The information diet, What you consume shapes your thoughts. Your brain doesn't always know the difference between what's real and what's imagined. That's why stories, news, and even gossip can change your emotional state as if you actually experienced them. Psychologists call this the availability bias. Your mind believes that whatever it sees most often is what's most true. So, if you constantly consume negativity, outrage, or drama, your brain starts wiring itself to expect threat and conflict, even when your life is perfectly calm. Imagine waking up, scrolling through bad news, and feeling anxious before breakfast. It's not just emotion, it's programming. You're teaching your brain that the world is dangerous before the day even begins. But the opposite is true too. Feed your brain uplifting, curious, or inspiring content, and over time, it begins to expect opportunity instead of danger. You become what you mentally consume. The power of micro-rewards, how tiny wins build confidence. Your brain loves progress, even the smallest kind. Each time you finish a task or reach a mini goal, it releases dopamine, rewarding you for forward movement. This creates a feedback loop that builds motivation and self-belief over time. Psychologists call this the progress principle. It's not big achievements that make us happy, but consistent small wins that keep our brain feeling alive and capable. Think of the satisfaction of crossing something off your to-do list. It's a momentary rush, but that rush trains your brain to crave more productive action. When you build a lifestyle of small victories, making your bed, finishing a workout, learning a new skill, your brain learns to associate effort with reward. And that's how confidence grows, not overnight, but habit by habit. Before we move on, here's a quick question for you. Which of these habits do you think shapes your brain the most? The one you do intentionally, or the one you do without realizing it? Drop your answer in the comments. I'd love to see your take, and you might even get a shout out in the next video. The memory replay habit, why you relive old pain. Ever replayed a cringeworthy or painful memory and felt your chest tighten? As if it's happening all over again? That's not imagination, it's neuroscience. Each time you recall a memory, your brain reactivates the same neural circuits used during the original event. Essentially, you relive it. The more often you revisit painful experiences, the stronger those emotional pathways become. But there's hope if you consciously reframe the memory, focusing on what you learned or how you grew. You can redirect those same neural circuits toward healing. It's like editing an old movie. You can't delete the footage, but you can change the soundtrack. Over time, your brain starts to remember the growth, not just the pain. The sleep deception, how rest repairs or damages your mind. During sleep, your brain isn't resting. It's working overtime. It clears toxins, repairs neurons, and reorganizes memories like files being sorted on a hard drive. When you skip sleep, that cleaning process gets disrupted. Your hippocampus, the area responsible for learning and memory, starts to shut down. Studies show that even one bad night can reduce cognitive performance by up to 40. And no, catching up on weekends doesn't fully reset your brain. It thrives on rhythm, not recovery. So when you sacrifice sleep for productivity, remember you're not saving time, you're borrowing focus from tomorrow. The power of observation, how awareness rewrites habits. Here's the most powerful one of all, awareness. Just noticing a thought or action activates your prefrontal cortex, the part of your brain responsible for conscious control. This process, called metacognition, lets you step outside automatic behavior and start rewriting it. For example, the next time you instinctively reach for your phone out of boredom, pause. That split second of awareness is your brain creating a new neural path. Over time, these small acts of noticing build into genuine transformation. Awareness is the bridge between the brain you have and the brain you want. Your brain is changing right now in ways you can't feel but will one day see. Every scroll, every thought, every reaction sends invisible ripples through your neural network. The best part? You can choose which direction it grows. Maybe it's not about doing more, but noticing better. Because once you become aware of the patterns shaping your mind, you stop being controlled by them and start controlling them. So if this video opened your eyes to how everyday habits silently sculpt your brain, give it a like, subscribe for more science-backed psychology insights, and share it with someone who needs a little reminder. You're not stuck. Your brain is just waiting for new instructions.